Lloydo, MCG Friday night, first half, you wouldn't have put anything on Collingwood, but the second half, my goodness, they're just an unbelievable outfit.
Oh, they are, because they were outplayed in so many areas of the game on Friday night, but they just have this amazing belief about them, and they're just riding a wave of belief, confidence. It's amazing what it can do, and they never ever feel they're out of a game. And I thought on the stat sheet, you would have thought there's going to be 10 goals down with, what was it, Brown? It got out to 30 more inside 50s at one point.
30 more inside 50s Melbourne had, and it wasn't as though Melbourne were having shot after shot and missing. They missed a couple of easy ones, but they were 10 goals 7. So I look at Collingwood and I go, I tell you what, Murphy, Moore, Howe and Maynard, what a job they've done to defend Melbourne with an onslaught of inside 50s, and that's their strength. Their strength is their back end at the moment. Murphy, Moore and Howe, unbelievable.
Yeah, and I reckon this is the celebrations after the game, and I love it. They're just getting their crowd involved all the time, and they could easily go, oh, we didn't play well through periods and we're getting lucky on a few, but no, they've won 11 in a row, so this is a genuine side. I'm with you, Damo. I haven't been there either and never believed. I even said last week I don't think they can win the flag, but who aside from Geelong would scare them? So there's probably only one side potentially who could challenge them. They've beaten everyone else, and these were the stats that are damning. And just on Simon Goodwin, this goes on every week, plus 24 inside 50s, but they lose a game of football. I saw a lot of Melbourne players have shots at goals and blast it forward. The amount of times I saw a Melbourne player blasting the other Melbourne player. I saw Pickett on time, so even midfielders, so Petrarca, Oliver, I'm not sure if it was Fritsch, but they blast the ball forward and actually don't kick to players who are in a better position. So they're shooting themselves in the foot. Look, there's players, arms outstretched, but no, I'll just blast it forward. So they're their own worst enemy. I heard Damien Hardwick say, well, Richmond are beating Richmond a few weeks ago. Well, Melbourne beat Melbourne. Like, they just are not, I'll say they're a dumb side going inside.
Is it hubris, Lloydy? Have they just got ahead of themselves? Have they lost that edge?
Damo, did you want to Google that, Nathan?
Thank you, Tony.
They had the edge last week, Damo. I think it's more method.
But they've only won 4 matches of their last 10.
But often it's because they make mistakes. They make the same mistakes with their chemistry and cohesion inside 50 more than effort.
The only time they looked dangerous the other night was when Max Gawn went forward. He was the one that looked most likely to mark it.
And he can't kick for goal at the moment. Like
So can I ask about Ed Langdon? All right. So he comes out through the week on SEN and he says they're all duck, no dinner. All right. He also says they're a one-trick pony. That's used by Collingwood on the whiteboard. I spoke with Alan Richardson from the Melbourne Footy Club for 9 News prior to the game, and he said he made a blue and he'll learn from it. So quite clearly the club wasn't happy. But we don't want to stop the footballers from actually coming out and being themselves.
Is it a blue?
Well, we don't want that. And I've got no... But if you are at the footy club, what's the benefit for the football club trying to win a premiership of him saying that? So it's great for us, and I didn't have a massive issue with it. But if you are at that football club, there's no benefit for Melbourne for him to say that.
It's just the way we're wired as an industry. It's pretty amateurish, I reckon, the way we think. And I say that from the club
down... Sorry, you're talking media?
Media, the club down to the media. If that was said by an NFL player leading into a game on the weekend, it wouldn't even be picked up. It'd be broadcast in that one instance. It wouldn't be referenced again, and there'd be 15 other statements made.
But that's because they're programmed and media trained within an inch of their lives where they give nothing away. And when someone does actually act normal, you know what I mean, in an honest sense, and acts naturally when he or she is speaking with the media, that's why it becomes... It's like when Adam Treloar joined Collingwood and he said because he thought they had a better chance at a flag than Richmond. Well, it was a headline for a week.
To Ed Langdon's credit, he didn't take a backward step. So he stood under the ball a couple of times in his defensive 50, did a great job. I thought he was one of their better players.
But to Collingwood's credit as well, they used that. They didn't shy away from it. Clearly, they were aware of it. They didn't say, "Oh, we didn't notice it." They went after him, and they made a point of doing that, which I loved. Speaking of Melbourne, I mean, you mentioned hubris. Perhaps there is a little bit of that, Damo, because of the leads they've had throughout the year. I mean, they've led by 20-plus points 5 times this year, and this is the concern for them. So you win all 5 of those games, and we're not worried about where Melbourne are at. But for whatever reason, they get comfortable. They settle into the way that they play, and they've been vulnerable when they've had leads. Like that's an incredible record in one season of footy.
I find though they can't keep the scoreboard ticking over though. So the teams work them out. They're blasting it, which worked last year. Teams have worked them out, and then the score dries up. TJ, whereas
and no Tom McDonald. I know he's not the biggest name on that list, but given his absence in this long stretch now, he's the one point of difference in that forward line that they're lacking this year.